After the 11th proposal, Ava Harrison finally agreed to marry me. But she told me she didn't want a wedding or a marriage license. All she wanted was a round-the-world trip. A honeymoon wedding, she called it. I agreed. As I was getting ready to leave, I was flipping through an old photo album and found it. Her marriage certificate to her first love. The date on the certificate was February 14th. Valentine's Day. 7 years of my life felt like a bad dream. I found the chat logs on her sync tablet. A conversation with her best friend. The friend asked, "What if Ethan finds out?" Ava's reply, "He won't." I told him we're doing a travel wedding, no certificate. Besides, you know how he is with me. Even if he did find out, he'd never leave me. I felt the blood drain from my face. I canceled the flights and moved out of that apartment that night. Ava called while I was packing. "Ethan, I'm stuck at work. An emergency project. Just pack your things and head to the airport. I'll meet you there straight from the office." I glanced at the marriage certificate spread out on the bed, the chat logs still open on the tablet. My voice was flat. "Sure, you focus on work. No rush." After hanging up, I took Ava's clothes out of the suitcase, piece by piece, and packed my own. Ava had said she wanted 12 proposals. Each one had to be unique. She wanted to feel the romance. So for the past few years, I had already staged 10 of them. A month ago, I planned the 11th. I invited all our friends and family. Because it wasn't the 12th, I honestly thought she'd say no. But to my shock, she accepted. 7 years of my life were finally paying off. I was so happy I couldn't even describe the feeling. I called my parents that night to tell them I was getting married. We were going to arrange for our parents to meet, do the whole formal thing, and start planning. But after I got off the phone, Ava's mood soured. She said she didn't want a marriage license. She felt that if we got one, my love for her would just become a legal responsibility. That I'd get lazy, start ignoring her. That the love would die. She also said she didn't want a wedding ceremony, complaining that she'd feel like a monkey in a zoo, with all our friends and family just staring. At the time, I was dizzy with excitement. I actually told her, "Whatever you want, Ava, we'll do it your way." She said she wanted to travel. We'd pick cities around the globe, mark them on a map, and travel a route that would draw a heart shape across the planet. That would be her one-of-a-kind wedding. And I thought, yeah, that is romantic. It's totally unique. Whatever the girl I love wants, I should give her. The license, the traditional wedding, none of it mattered. All that mattered was us, together and happy. But now, staring at the marriage certificate with Ava Harrison and Liam Carter's names on it, the iMessage chats on the tablet, the wedding photos, and even a video of the ceremony I found in a hidden cloud folder. Everything was telling me one thing. I was a colossal fool. The same Ava who didn't want to be gawked at like a monkey had a wedding so shabby it was almost unbelievable. No hotel ballroom, no tasteful decorations, just a barn in the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin, with a few red banners tacked to the walls. She didn't wear a white dress. She was in some hideous dark red pantsuit that looked like it came from a thrift store bin. My cleaning lady wears more fashionable clothes. This was my Ava, the fashionista who wouldn't be caught dead in last season's clothes, who refused to carry an outdated handbag or wear jewelry that wasn't trending. And yet, she was willing to dress like that, in a dusty barn, to marry him. I played the video, listening to her voice over and over. It was nails on a chalkboard. It wasn't that Ava didn't want to get married. She just didn't want to marry me. 7 years ago, when we were juniors in college, Liam suddenly left for Europe without a word, completely ghosting her. 6 months later, Ava asked me out. For the first couple of years, Liam was always the shadow in the back of my mind. But after we graduated and started our careers, our relationship got stronger. I slowly forgot he even existed. I thought Ava had too, but that was just what I thought. We were together for 7 years. If she couldn't forget him, she could have told me. I loved her, but I'm not the kind of guy who'd chain her down and stop her from being with the one that got away. But she said nothing. She secretly got a marriage license with Liam on Valentine's Day. She secretly did a cheap-looking photo shoot with him. She even had a ceremony with friends and family. It had been over 2 months, and I believe her every time she said she was busy with work, that she had to go on a business trip. Pathetic. Truly pathetic. I found Liam's Twitter. He came back to the States in early May, and that's when he started posting again. That day, he posted a picture of their marriage license, with Ava's photo and name blurred out. The caption read, The greatest declaration of love is when, after 7 years, she's still waiting for you right where you left her. A few minutes later, he posted again, "Oh, and by the way, congratulate us." In the following weeks, Liam posted wedding photos, shared details from the ceremony, and even a picture of his bride filling little bags of wedding favors. They had photos walking a dog together, a picture of their shadows making a heart shape under a streetlight. Every post was a sharp blade, carving me into pieces. Our 7 years of love were a complete and utter joke. I finished packing my suitcase, shoved the marriage certificate back into the photo album, and copied the chats and wedding files onto a flash drive. I canceled my own ticket, and with my suitcase in hand, I left our home. Our flight was scheduled for 9:00 p.m. At 8:40, Ava texted me, "Ethan, I don't think I'm going to make it. Can you see if you can reschedule the flight? Maybe we can leave tomorrow?" I opened Liam's Twitter. He had just posted a new picture, Ava carefully putting a Band-Aid on his finger. The caption, "Frowny face, my first time trying to cook for her, and I cut myself." The wife says I'm too clumsy and she's taking over all kitchen duties for the rest of our lives. So lucky to have married such a caring woman. I'll be a happy man for life. I let out a short, bitter laugh, but my eyes started to burn. I didn't text Ava back. She didn't contact me again. She was probably used to me quietly taking care of everything. If I hadn't found the certificate, I'd probably be at the airport right now, on the phone with the airline, asking Ava if tomorrow was okay. I went back to my own condo. I didn't sleep all night. I burned every photo from the last 7 years. The marriage certificate fell into the fire, and I watched the flames lick at the paper, charring corner. When the sun came up, I booked a flight and left the country. I turned off my phone, disconnected everything. I stayed away for 2 weeks before I came back. Before my return flight, I gave my parents the flight number. But the person who came to pick me up was Ava. The moment she saw me, she laid into me. "Ethan, seriously? I had to work late, so we missed our flight, and you disappear for 2 weeks. What is wrong with you? Are you trying to end this?" I just stood there, people bustling around us in the terminal, and looked at her face. As always, she was using the threat of a breakup to control me. Actually, yes, I am. Ava froze, her brow furrowing. "Ethan, what does that mean? It's been 2 weeks. Are you done with your little tantrum?" 2 weeks. It took me 2 weeks of agony to even begin to breathe again, to be able to face her without breaking. "Ava, we're breaking up." "Ethan, are you serious right now?" Running off without a word. "Don't you think people were worried?" I just stared at her. In the 2 weeks I was gone, she had appeared in 12 of Liam's daily Twitter posts. And now she was claiming she was worried. "You were worried about me? Ava, do you even believe the words coming out of your own mouth?" Her expression faltered. She was silent for a long moment before saying, "Let's go home and talk about this." I cut her off. "No need. Ethan, my patience has a limit." Patience. That was hilarious. For 7 years, I was the one who had been patient, the one who always gave in. And now she was talking to me about patience. "Did I ask you to come pick me up today?" I scoffed, watching her face darken. "Ava, it's over. You don't have to be patient with me anymore." With that, I grabbed my suitcase and walked away. I thought that would be the end of it, a clean, dignified end to my 7 years of delusion. But I never expected Ava to start calling all my friends and family. She even gathered them at my parents' house, demanding that they talk some sense into me. She told them I ran away for 2 weeks without a word, and when she took time out of her busy schedule to pick me up, I was ungrateful. We were about to get married, she said, and I was throwing a fit and trying to break up. She wanted them to give her justice. My family is wealthy, but my parents are reasonable, understanding people. They never really liked Ava, but they saw how devoted I was to her, so they let it be. They even told me, "If you love her that much, son, then you treat her right. Don't let her down." Her little performance sent them into a panic. My parents called me, telling me to come home immediately. I had wasted 7 years. I was 30 now. A breakup at 30 isn't something you need to broadcast to the world, and it's not something you need your parents and friends worrying about. I wanted to handle it myself and tell them when it was over. I just couldn't believe Ava had the nerve to so brazenly play the victim. Had she been acting for so long that she forgot she and Liam were legally married? I suppressed my rage. Seeing that it was around lunchtime, I replied to my parents. I booked a private room at the Pinnacle Hotel. Tell our friends and family to meet me there. We could talk over lunch. Then I went on Twitter and sent a public message to Liam. He was a freelance photographer. I wrote that I needed a photographer for a wedding shoot, asking if he was free to meet now at the Pinnacle Hotel in the Celestial Suite. He replied that he wasn't far and would be right over. Before long, my parents arrived with a crowd of relatives and friends. Ava was there, holding my mom's arm, tears streaming down her face. My mom was comforting her while shooting me a furious glare. I smirked and excused myself to talk to the hotel staff. I had them set up a projector and connect it to my phone. When I returned, about 20 or 30 pairs of eyes were staring at me, full of condemnation, as if I were some heartless monster. I let out a careless laugh. The sound had barely faded when my dad scolded me. "Ethan, you're 30 years old. Haven't you learned what responsibility means yet?" I saw how angry my dad was. I sat down next to him and patted his back nonchalantly. "Dad, just relax. We're still waiting for someone." Ava looked at me, pouting. "Who are you waiting for?" "Your new girlfriend." I frowned. "Ava, for the last 7 years, every second of my life has revolved around you. Where would I even find time for a new girlfriend? If you're going to sling mud, at least try to be a little more creative." Just then, I saw Liam walk past the door of the suite. I called out, "Liam, you passed it." Hearing his name, Liam backed up. He stepped into the private room and looked around, confused by the crowd. But when he saw me and Ava, his face changed instantly. A second later, he forced a smile and walked toward me. "Hey man, it's you." I didn't know Liam well. Our only connection was Ava, and it had been 7 years since he left school. The fact that he still remembered me could only mean one thing. He knew Ava and I were together. "It's me." "I'm surprised you have such a good memory, dude. You've been gone for 7 years, and you still remember me." Liam smiled, putting on an innocent act. "You were pretty well known in the business school." "Well, you've still got a better memory than me. I can barely remember some of my own classmates now." As I spoke, I gave a subtle nod to the waiter. The waiter pulled out the empty chair next to Ava. Everyone assumed that chair was for me, but I had the waiter guide Liam to it instead. I watched Ava's face go pale. She looked at Liam walking toward her, her eyes filled with panic. Liam was a better actor than Ava. He pretended like nothing was wrong and, under everyone's gaze, calmly sat down. "So, you messaged me about a wedding shoot. May I ask who the lovely bride-to-be is?" I smiled. "She's sitting right next to you." Liam turned to look at Ava. Both of their expressions became unnatural. "You two haven't seen each other in a few years, right?" Liam didn't say anything, but Ava shot up from her chair, her voice shaking with anger. "Ethan, what the hell is this?" I just smiled. "Nothing. You want to get back together, right?" So I called Liam. I thought he could shoot our engagement photos. "Let's just forget about that whole travel wedding thing. Let's do it the normal way. We take the photos, get the license, have the wedding. My parents only have one son. They're always going to other people's weddings. It's about time their friends came to mine, don't you think?" At my words, Ava looked like she was about to collapse. Her hands gripped the edge of the table to steady herself. We agreed. A travel wedding. You're backing out now. I laughed. Why can't I? We were supposed to leave before our anniversary, and you didn't show up. You back out of things all the time, don't you? Over the past 7 years, I've let you change your mind 100, 1,000 times. You can't let me change my mind once? That doesn't seem fair, does it, Ava? Ava was speechless. She looked at me, trembling, and finally managed to say, "This is just an excuse to break up with me. You're just trying to force my hand, aren't you? Ethan, you're unbelievable. Sometimes I really don't get it. She's already married to Liam. She got her wish. She's married to the man she loves. I hadn't even exposed her yet. I was trying to let her leave with some dignity. Why did she have to come back and keep pushing? Did she want to break up while still painting herself as the victim?" I ignored Ava and turned to Liam. "So are you married?" "I am, yeah. Just recently." He looked at me with a hint of mockery in his eyes. I smiled. "Does your wife love you? Is she good to you?" Liam replied without flinching. "She loves me a lot. We kind of rekindled an old flame after being apart for 7 years. I was in Europe, you see, and I wasn't sure if I should move back. But my wife told me she hadn't forgotten me for a single moment in those 7 years. She said if I came back, we'd get married. So I came back without a second thought. No matter how busy she is, she always makes time for me. Anything I want, She gets it from me without me even having to ask. She'd never cooked a day in her life, but for me, she started learning how. Listening to Liam describe this version of Ava was like hearing about a stranger. I thought back over our 7 years, and a sharp pain shot through my chest. Liam kept talking on, and I didn't interrupt him. I just listened with a faint smile. He was gloating, showing off their great love story as if it had nothing to do with me. I saw the smug satisfaction in his eyes and chuckled to myself. Let's see if you're still smiling in a few minutes. I turned to Ava. Did you hear what Liam said? Other women could do all that. Why can't you? Ava was silent, looking at me as if she were in a trance. Or is it that you can do it for other men, just not for me? 7 years, Ava. Was I not good to you? She didn't say a word. I slammed my glass on the table, shattering it. All my fury boiled over as I yelled. Ava, was I not good to you? A shard of glass flew up and grazed Ava's cheek, leaving a thin line of blood. Liam jumped to his feet, pulling Ava close to check the cut. I watched them. Everyone in the room watched them. His face twisted in anger as he turned on me. Ethan, since you already know, why are you playing all these games? So what if Ava married me? You two weren't married. Does she have to marry you and no one else? Liam was defending her, but Ava just stared at him, her eyes red, and screamed, Liam, shut up. For a moment, Liam was stunned, as if Ava had never raised her voice to him before. He looked hurt. She reached for him, but he pulled his arm away and stormed out. Ava slumped back in her chair, looking utterly defeated. How did you find out? I didn't answer. The pain in my chest was unbearable. Ava asked, Did you know before our anniversary trip? If you knew, why didn't you ask me? I laughed, a humorless, angry sound. Ask you? Would that have changed anything? If I asked, would you have had a good explanation? Ethan, it's not what you think. Liam's grandmother was terminally ill, and her dying wish was to see him get married. That's the only reason I married him. I've been in agony these last few months, too scared to tell you. It's better that you know. Even though we have that piece of paper, nothing will change between us. I promise. I looked at Ava's face, the face of the woman I had loved for 7 years, and now all I felt was disgust. How could she be so shameless? Things will be just like they were before. Ava, where do you get the nerve? For 7 years, I wanted to give us a dignified ending. You're the one who didn't want it. Ava walked over to me, reaching for my arm. Ethan, it's not like that. I do love you. I only married him because his grandmother was sick. I let out another short laugh and turned on my phone screen mirroring. On the large screen at the side of the room, Ava and Liam's wedding video began to play. There she was, kneeling on a rustic cushion on the floor next to Liam, holding up a glass, her face beaming. Grandma, please have some tea. The old woman smiled, took the glass, and after a sip, began lecturing Ava on how to be a good wife, how to give her a great-grandson soon. Ava wasn't angry at all. She happily promised the old woman she'd have a great-grandchild in her arms by the end of the year. This wasn't the Ava I knew. The Ava I was with was terrified of pain. She hated kids. She told me I couldn't be like other men and treat a woman like a baby-making machine. I loved her, so I accepted everything about her. But that didn't mean I was a doormat. It didn't mean I deserved to be ground into the dirt. Ava stared at the screen in horror. All of my relatives were speechless. My dad's face was grim, and my mom was so furious she marched over and slapped Ava across the face. I stepped in and held my mom back. Mom, calm down. I'm not even angry anymore. My mom was shaking with rage. She pointed at Ava and screamed, You shameless tramp. Get out. Ava looked at me, a twisted smile on her lips. Ethan, you're a real piece of work. Believe it or not, I still love you. I would never believe that nonsense again. After Ava left, my friends and family gathered around to comfort me. They said I should get revenge, that I shouldn't let her get away with it. I told them there was no point. It was easier to just pretend Ava was dead. A few days later, Ava sent her best friend, Chloe, to talk to me. She probably thought I had only seen the wedding video. Ethan, I know what Ava did was wrong, but she knows that now. You two have 7 years of history. Are you really going to throw that all away? Ava's just too soft-hearted. That's why she agreed to the wedding. The old woman tricked them. It's not her fault. Give her another chance. You be giving yourselves another chance, too. Chloe was Ava's best friend. After graduation, I had help get Ava a job, and I had also pulled some strings to get Chloe a position at my friend's company. I even sent a few projects their way. For years, Chloe was always thanking me. She was Ava's friend, so it made sense she would help her. I never expected her to tell me what was going on, but to know the entire truth and still come here to try and sell me more lies? Chloe, the photo on Ava and Liam's marriage certificate. Was it hard to Photoshop? Chloe must not have known that I knew. The moment I said it, her face turned bright red. She looked down at the floor, probably wishing it would swallow her whole. You were Ava's friend first, I get that. But I've been good to you, haven't I? I'm not asking you to betray Ava. But how can you know everything and still come here and lie to my face with a clear conscience? Chloe's lips were pressed into a thin line. After a long moment, she said, Ethan, I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking straight. I know that no matter how you slice it, this is all Ava's fault. You can do whatever you want. But she really does have feelings for you. I only agreed to help because I saw how miserable she was. Ethan, you love her so much. Can you really leave her? If you can, I won't say another word. I'll go back and tell Ava to stop bothering you. I looked at her and laughed. Chloe, you always say how much you love your job. If your boss told you that you had to get on your knees and bow your head to the floor every morning when you came to work, would you still love it? Chloe was so ashamed she couldn't speak. I tossed the copy of Ava and Liam's marriage certificate on the table. Please take this back to Ava. Without waiting for a reply, I got up and left. I don't know what she said to Ava after that. Ava kept texting me, telling me to come back and get my things. I replied, throw it all out. Don't contact me again. For years, my entire life had been about Ava. I was just drifting professionally. My grandfather had offered me a position running the family's overseas operations a long time ago, but I couldn't bear to leave Ava. I didn't want a long-distance relationship. Now, it seemed like a good thing. At least my grandfather would stop bugging me about it. I applied to a business school in London. I needed a refresher before I was ready to take over the company. Less than a month later, I got my acceptance letter. To celebrate, and as a farewell, I took my best friends out to dinner. Leo was scrolling through his phone while we ate. As usual, Chris told him, if you don't start eating, you're picking up the check tonight. But Leo didn't seem to hear. He was frowning, scrolling furiously through Twitter. Shit, Ethan, that psycho ex of yours is dragging you online. Twitter is full of posts calling you a homewrecker. I opened the app. The #1 trending topic with a bright red breaking tag was Miller Corp air the other man in messy love triangle. My hand was shaking with anger. I clicked on the tag. It was a long thread posted by Liam. He tearfully recounted how his and Ava's love had triumphed over adversity. He claimed that after they had broken up, I had relentlessly pursued Ava, causing their final split. He said that for the past 7 years, they had never forgotten each other, which is why they got married the moment he returned. In his post, he wrote that even after they were married, I wouldn't leave Ava alone, that I was pressuring her to divorce him and be with me. He even posted screenshots of DMs from a burner account I'd used to contact him to meet at the hotel. He wrote that he'd never seen a homewrecker as arrogant as me. He chalked it up to the power of money. People on the internet hate cheaters, but they also hate the rich. He knew exactly how to manipulate public opinion. In an instant, both my company and I were being dragged through the mud. My notifications were already at 99 plus. I opened them to a flood of messages telling me to die, for my family to die, for my company to go bankrupt. Chris grabbed my arm. Don't get worked up. Just let the PR department handle this. They'll make it go away. No need to call PR. I can handle this. As the story was exploding online, I got a call from Liam. Ethan, $50 million. Wire it to my account, and I'll divorce Ava. You can have her back. Is that all Ava is worth to you? $50 million. I asked. Liam was silent. I laughed. Sorry. Secondhand goods aren't worth a dime to me. I went into my cloud drive and found the original iMessage conversation from 7 years ago when Ava asked me out. I also found our recent text where Ava laid out her whole plan for a travel wedding with no ceremony. I posted them directly to Twitter. The timeline was crystal clear. We got together more than 6 months after they broke up. And when he came back and married her, Ava and I were in the middle of planning our trip. I bought a few trending hashtags. Hashtag 7 years betrayed. Hashtag wasted youth. Hashtag found my fiancée's marriage certificate to write before our wedding trip. I put money behind them. Within minutes, Influencer accounts picked it up, and all 3 hashtags shot to the top of the trending list. When people saw the chat logs, they flooded Liam's replies, asking if he knew Ava and I were still together when he married her. Liam stubbornly claimed he didn't know, but it didn't take long for internet sleuths to find his old, private Twitter account. He had posted dozens of tweets obsessing over me and Ava. It was obvious he knew we were together. His very last tweet on that account was, "Whatever I want, I get." The date on that tweet was May 19th, the day before Valentine's Day. After that, the account went silent. He started fresh with a new account, the one filled with pictures of his happy new life with Ava. I posted a final statement on Twitter. I always thought Liam was a victim in this. That's why when I found the marriage certificate, saw the photos and the video, all I did was break up with Ava. I wanted to give my 7 years some final shred of dignity. But Ava wouldn't let it go. She went to my family and friends, painting herself as a heartbroken victim. That's why I invited Liam to the hotel to expose her lies. Liam knew we hadn't broken up, but he married her anyway. He's the real homewrecker here. Ava and I haven't spoken in weeks, so I don't understand why Mr. Carter suddenly decided to air his dirty laundry in public. Oh, and by the way, Mr. Carter also called me and demanded $50 million to give Ava back. I've already filed a police report for extortion. Liam replied to my comments, "If it wasn't for you, why would Ava be talking about divorcing me?" I replied back, "That's between you and Ava. To me, Ava is like a piece of toilet paper that's fallen in the toilet. I wouldn't even want to look at it. I just want to flush." Ava, who had been silent through all of this, was dragged out by the online mob. I heard she got fired from her job. The whole drama that Liam had started just fizzled out. The online mob turned on him, savaging him in the comments. But I didn't feel any satisfaction. Those were my 7 years, raw and bleeding. I had 2 days left before my flight to London. I was home packing. Somehow, Ava had managed to divorce Liam. She showed up at my front door, holding the divorce decree. She looked at me, her face full of hope. "Ethan, I'm divorced. We can be together again." My cousin happened to be over, playing chess with my dad. When she heard Ava's voice, she shot up from her seat, not even bothering to put on her shoes. She saw Ava, reeking of alcohol and waving the divorce papers. She marched over and slapped her. "Get the hell out of here, you piece of trash. Don't dirty my uncle's doorstep." Because of a scandal with Liam and Ava, our company's stock had taken a nosedive. It recovered, but I was the heir to the family business. A scandal like this made the board of directors nervous. My cousin was now in charge of the company's PR, and this whole mess had made her furious. She had wanted to go after Ava before, but I had stopped her. Now that Ava was here, my cousin didn't hold back, hitting her with a fury that was raw and real. Ava didn't even fight back. She just kept screaming my name like a lunatic. Ethan, I was wrong. Please, forgive me just this once. You used to forgive me for everything. Ethan, you can't be this cruel. I just made a mistake any person could make. You said you loved me, that I was the only one for you. Was it all a lie? Ethan, I'm really, truly sorry." Her eyes were bloodshot. I don't know how long it had been since she'd slept. Now, beaten and bruised by my cousin, she looked pathetic. My chest ached. I pulled my cousin back. "Stop. It's not worth it if you kill her." My cousin shoved Ava to the ground and pulled me toward the house. "Don't listen to this garbage. Let's go inside." I looked at my cousin. "You go on ahead. I need to say a few things to her. Once I'm gone, we'll never see each other again anyway." My cousin sighed. "Don't fall for the crocodile tears." I managed a small smile. "I won't." After my cousin went inside, I walked over to Ava. She grabbed my leg, tears streaming from her eyes. "Ethan, don't leave me." It was a moment of weakness. "Please, just forgive me one more time." She clutched my pants, her eyes pleading. She looked so pitiful, so broken. But all I had to do was remember her marrying Liam behind my back, and the thorn in my heart twisted deeper. It would never come out. "Ava, it wasn't a moment of weakness. You never respected me. If you had any respect for me, you wouldn't have said those things to Chloe. You wouldn't have been so arrogant as to think that I could never live without you. 7 years, Ava, I never even asked you to put me first. I wasted 7 years on you. It's over now. Ava, don't ever show your face to me again. The sight of you makes me sick." Ava slowly let go of my pants. "Our photo albums. Let me have them." I laughed a cold, empty sound. "I burned them." I burned them the day I saw your marriage certificate, the day I saw your wedding video. With that, I turned and went back inside. I don't know when she finally left. On the day of my flight, Ava called me from an unknown number. I was at the gate, with 50 minutes until boarding. Hello? Who is this? Ethan, it's me. I recognized her voice and was about to hang up. Wait, don't hang up. I was drunk the other day. I'm sorry. Where are you? Let's meet. I'm at the airport. Where are you going? A vacation. To study abroad. When did you decide that? The night I found your marriage certificate. Ethan, you can't do this to me. We were together for 7 years. You were never like this with me before. Ava, it's because I was never like this that you took me for granted. That you treated me with such arrogant disregard. Do you love me? Of course I love you. And your way of loving me was to marry Liam behind my back. Your way of loving me was to say we couldn't have a wedding, couldn't get a license, and then turn around and do both with him. Ethan, let's meet. We can have a wedding. We can get a license. Her voice was low, laced with a panic that I might have just been imagining. Ethan, it's not like that. I love you. I found myself laughing. You love me? Show me where. Show me how. The other end of the line went silent. I pressed the end call button. I didn't say goodbye. Hopefully, we would never see each other again. Ethan was gone. I asked all our friends, all our family. No one would tell me where he went. 7 years ago, Liam left without a word. I never got over it. So when he contacted me, saying he was coming back, I was tempted. When he told me he still loved me, that he had his reasons for leaving back then, I completely forgot about Ethan. I forgot we were about to get married. I fell for Liam's sweet words all over again. I agreed to marry him. We got the license to the photos, had the wedding, all in a blur. It wasn't until it was all over that I realized I had to figure out what to do about Ethan. I thought about breaking up with him, but the mere thought of him leaving me made me physically ill. So I came up with a plan. I would accept Ethan's proposal. I breathed a sigh of relief, proud of myself for handling the situation so well. But Ethan found out. He didn't even confront me. He just left. When he came back 2 weeks later to break up, I realized just how cold he could be when he no longer loved me. I tried everything I could to win him back, but he wouldn't budge. It was like I was meeting him for the very first time. After our big confrontation, Liam changed. He started breaking things, hitting me. I was pregnant with his child, but he beat me so badly I miscarried. I used that as my reason to finally file for divorce. I threw all my energy into getting Ethan back. By the time I realized what was happening, all my money, even the expensive bags and jewelry Ethan had bought me, were gone. Liam had taken everything. I finally learned the truth. He was drowning in gambling debt. That's why he came back. He didn't love me. He just saw that I was with Ethan, and Ethan had money. So he pretended not to know about us, happily spending my money. No, spending the money Ethan gave me. I went to the police, but they couldn't find him. The next time I heard anything about Liam, it was his parents calling me. They told me he was dead. He'd been hacked to pieces by loan sharks. They wanted me to come identify the body. I started laughing like a maniac. Good. I'm glad he's dead. Why didn't they just burn him to ash? Hearing this, Liam's mother went insane. She shoved me down a flight of stairs. I died in that stairwell. The old woman was arrested and, not long after, executed. The year after I died, Ethan found someone new. They got married. His wife was beautiful and gentle, and she was very, very good to him.